Hi, Adam Smale here, and this is my second video in my How Did Lenny Breau Do That series. If you want to see all the videos in that series, be sure to check out the playlist I set up at the end of the video. If you know quite a few chords already and want to get to that next level where you want to create interesting movement and add notes to play melodies on top of your chords, then this exercise I learned from Lenny will open up your eyes to a world of beautiful chords you never would have thought of otherwise. I first started doing this exercise probably 20 years ago when an anonymous person left 3 CDs in my mailbox of a recorded clinic that Lenny Breau gave at GIT back in the early 1980s, now called Musicians Institute. My friend John Knowles also talks about this very exercise in my fabulous interview with him last week. When this lesson is over, be sure to check out that video as well. Let's start with the key of C. Now you can do this with any chord progression, but a good place to start is with a 1-6-2-5. So that's C major or C6 for 1, A minor 7 for the 6 chord, D minor 7 for the 2 chord, and G7 is the 5 chord. Since we're in the key of C, let's use a C major scale. Make sense? No? What we're going to do is have the scale ascending eventually from any note, but for now, we'll start with the root. And don't forget to descend as well. You'll notice that I'll make the 2 and the 6 chord dominant sometimes. Once in a while, the melody is a tension note or a chord tone that might not work otherwise. If you're down to get more content like this, then click that like button for me. Out of anything, that tiny little gesture will help push out this video and help my channel out more than anything. Thanks. Learning jazz is sometimes a problem-solving venture. This exercise trains your brain to not get caught in a snag when you're improvising or comping chords behind someone else, so you have a lot more options. It's also great for finding new chord voicings if you're into chord melodies. Now, let's try starting on D. D in this case is the 9th of the 1 chord, so we're good. Also notice that I'm putting as many tension notes in as I can on each chord to make things less bland and as colorful as possible. Did you smash that like button yet? And just because the melody note on top is diatonic, only using notes from C major, the tension notes we add to the chords doesn't necessarily have to be, especially on the dominant chords. Of course, do this in as many keys as you possibly can, and start from as many scale degrees as you can think of. Let's play a chromatic line, and let's do it this time leaving out the root of the chord nearly always in our voicings. It's a really good idea to practice this concept with rootless voicings because, like in my case, I'm always playing with a bass player. By leaving the root note out, you and the bass player are less likely to step on each other's toes, so to speak. Let's mix it up this time. Let's play this leapfrog pattern over our chords. keep our no root chords going. When you add the chords underneath, it's like this. Let's take our chromatic line approach and do it over an actual song. Say, Giant Steps. You'll notice that I sort of bend the rules a little and I don't play the chromatic note that would normally follow because I either wanted to stay on a pedal tone over a few chords or simply wanted to pick a note that makes sense over the chord. I hope you can see the potential in this with some practice and some experimentation. It also opens up some doors to have inner moving lines, especially the rootless voicings, because we often have more fingers free to grab more notes, just like what Lenny did. I hope you can see the awesome potential in watching these videos as well.